This is Karen Ranzi of Super Healthy Children, and I am here today with Kai and Nathan and their beautiful baby boy. Now, one thing that you have to know is that this baby boy, and how old is he now?
5 months.
5 months old, has been raised raw vegan with attachment parenting. And Mom Kai read Creating Healthy Children and is following its important premises about sleeping with baby, holding baby skin to skin, breastfeeding, all of the wonderful attachment parenting principles that make for a healthy, well-adjusted child. So, wow, this is so fantastic to be here with you guys who came all the way to the Woodstock Fruit Festival from Hawaii. Yeah, could you tell me something about where you started, how you got into raw foods?
We started with Marcus Rothkrantz, right? You found him on the internet?
We just went online and we I looked at this raw vegan bodybuilding video and I got really into it. So because I was doing paleo for a little bit, which is a meat diet with no grains and some vegetables and fruit. But it wasn't really working for me. I still felt tired and I still was congested and but I didn't even know I was feeling like that because I felt like that my whole life. And then I tried raw vegan and fasting and I immediately saw a difference.
We started with green smoothies and then we cut out all cooked food, did a 2-day water fast, and then did juicing for a month. And that's how we started raw about 1.5 to 2 years ago.
Right. So you're totally raw vegan.
Yeah.
Right. And so the baby's been raised with your milk.
Yeah.
And you're eating raw vegan.
And raw vegan pregnancy.
Could you tell me a little bit about your pregnancy? So you were 100% raw vegan during your pregnancy?
I was about 90%. I was, for the beginning half, I was fully raw, and then there's some situations where I just felt really intense cravings, and I think that was part of my addiction to cooked food. But I did eat some cooked food, and I noticed that's the only time I felt pregnancy symptoms.
What were the pregnancy symptoms that you felt?
I got acid reflux. I felt nauseous. I was really tired.
Irritable.
Super irritable.
Wow.
And the second I went back to being raw, I had nothing. I was super fine, always energetic, didn't have a problem.
And you even had told me, Kai, that on your trip here from Hawaii, that there was a part of your trip that you had to travel through the Midwest and it was much harder to get raw fruits and vegetables, and that there were a couple times that you ended up eating things that you don't usually eat.
Right.
Some cooked food that was processed, whatever. And what were the results for the baby?
Legaloo definitely did not react well at all. He was constipated for 1.5 days after eating Subway with no meat, and it was just a veggie patty and
vegetarian, non-dairy vegetarian.
Right, but even with that,
because it's cooked and it's bread and it's still bad for
and he's only
hard to digest.
He couldn't do it even if it
and
was
it passes through the milk into him, and there's a night and day difference. It's not just in our heads. He just doesn't crap.
And his baby poop is sticky. It's just not good.
Right. And so how are his movements when you're eating on a regular basis your raw food, your fruits and your vegetables, nuts and seeds?
He's really easy. He sleeps through the night. He doesn't fuss almost at all. He takes one big poop in the morning when he first wakes up, and then maybe one more right before he goes to sleep, and then he doesn't use the bathroom during the night, and he sleeps, goes to sleep, and then we wake up together.
Wow, that's fantastic. It's like every mother's dream. Yeah. And so during the day, what's your diet and what's your breast milk supply like?
It's overwhelming. When I'm raw vegan, I could feed an army.
Really? Yeah, that's
And
fantastic.
then when I'm eating cooked food, it definitely lessens. I feel like when he nurses away all the milk. When I'm raw, he's nursing and he's like spitting it off and he's choking on the milk that's squirting down his throat.
Yeah, right.
So it could increase milk supply for
If
women having problems with that.
Definitely. And I work with women specifically on that to help them to increase their milk supply. And the majority of the time, I find that when they get off of cooked and dehydrated foods and salt, which is dehydrating,
yeah,
their milk supply increases almost immediately.
it's
It's
ridiculous.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
How much.
When my son was 3 years old and we went to raw foods, all of a sudden my breast milk supply increased. I felt like I could have fed an army.
Yeah, exactly.
I've contemplating like, what is it when you pump and then you donate? But I hear that just produces more, so I haven't done it.
Yeah.
I don't want any more milk.